What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Everything Weapons. Today we're going to be discussing how China has a new drone, a big drone, called the R6000 Tiltrotor drone that has entered full flight testing recently, and new video footage confirms that it has moved on from development into actual real-life trials. So I'm going to be reading from the Warzone.com, all credit to them. So a newly emerged video offers what appears to be a first look at China's R6000 unmanned, uncrewed Tiltrotor aircraft in free flight. So the propellers on each side, it acts as an Osprey, but of course they can tilt, right? Marking a significant step beyond the tethered hover tests that have been seen previously. Now, the design has attracted interest on account of its similarities to Bell's MV-75A, Cheyenne 2, America's crewed second-generation Tiltrotor. More broadly, the development of this aircraft could have very significant implications for the People's Liberation Army, as well as possibly civilian operators and use in the future. The footage, which first appeared on Chinese social media, shows the large drone in vertical flight, making a pedal turn, rotating around its vertical axes in the hover, and in sustained forward flight with its twin propellers fully tilted. Previous imagery was only limited to tethered evaluations that demonstrated basic hover capability, but now, with flight testing advancing, more could be revealed about the aircraft's performance envelope. And as in the previous imagery, the aircraft's engines are unshrouded with their streamlined fairings removed. Like the MV-75, the R6000 features fixed engine nacelles with hinged propellers, in contrast to the first-generation Tiltrotor design found on the V-22 Osprey, in which the entire nacelle pivots up and down as a complete unit. Previous imagery showing the R6000 conducting a tethered hover test had begun to circulate last November, last year in 2025. And while no details have been released about the scope of the current trials, the ability to conduct sustained untethered flight is a key milestone for any Tiltrotor program, given the complexity of the aircraft's aerodynamics and flight control systems. Now, Tiltrotor designs are especially challenging, as evidenced by the V-22's checkered record throughout the years, and in October of 2024, a photo emerged showing the first completed prototype of the R6000 at the Wuhu United Aircraft Production Workshop in China's eastern Anhui province. Apologies if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. United Aircraft had unveiled the design, also referred to as the UR6000, and Hang Ying, or Steel Shadow, at the 2024 Singapore Air Show. Developed by the Chinese firm United Aircraft, the R6000 is one of the largest uncrewed Tiltrotor designs currently in development anywhere around the world, counting technically as a drone, combining the vertical takeoff and landing capabilities of a helicopter with the speed and range advantages of a fixed-wing aircraft. It is officially at least aimed at logistics, disaster relief, offshore support, and other missions requiring access to areas without prepared runways. United Aircraft has presented both crewed and uncrewed versions of the R6000 in the past, and as we have outlined previously, a crewed or unmanned Tiltrotor in the R6000 class could fulfill various military applications for China in the future and the People's Liberation Army, or PLA. The aircraft would particularly valuable for sustaining PLA island bases in the South China Sea, as well as isolated installations elsewhere in the Pacific and along China's remote border regions where conventional aircraft infrastructure is limited. This kind of aircraft could support overseas deployments and regional contingencies, including a potential operation against Taiwan by moving troops, supplies, ammunition, equipment between dispersed locations without relying on prepared runways. In particular, the R6000 would be well suited to operating from the Type 076 amphibious assault ship and other large People Liberation's Army Navy Chinese amphibious ships, greatly extending their reach for logistics, reconnaissance, and or other missions. As well as logistics, a fully developed R6000 has clear potential as a multi-mission platform. Its payload capacity could also accommodate intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR equipment, electronic warfare payloads, communications, relay systems, or potentially even precision strike weapons. It is worth noting at this point that a special operations version of the MV-75 is already in the works, with a gunship variant likely, and a sea control concept has been displayed too. China is likely to at least explore similar development paths for its Tiltrotors. In this respect, the R6000 also makes for an interesting comparison with Bell's V247 Vigilant, which was originally pitched to meet the U.S. Marine Corps multi-role VTOL-capable drone program known as UMX, and the V247 has also been pitched to the U.S. Navy, while Bell has presented renderings showing a V247's operating together with the crewed V28 Valor Tiltrotor design, which the U.S. Army's MV-75 is based on. And when it comes to advanced uncrew aviation, this is an area that China has invested heavily in over the past decade, and its projects span everything from smaller tactical drones to high-altitude reconnaissance platforms and increasingly sophisticated combat drones. The R6000 fits squarely within Chinese efforts to develop a range of unmanned transport aircraft, including developing large autonomous logistics aircraft capable of operating in difficult, challenging environments and locations. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, that way you don't miss any video I post in the future. And take a look at the older videos on the channel, lots of videos to binge watch. And type us a comment of what you think about China's big R6000 Tiltrotor drone as it is entering its full flight testing. See you guys next time.